G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for episode number 28 of our cold Trozan Skyshard Spellbreaker, where I found an old bug. This is not a version 1.2 thing, but I just think it's funny. Of course it's not doing it. I just spent almost a minute trying to run through this door after I'd opened it, and of course now I'm recording it's working perfectly, of course. Okay, so yesterday, or whenever it was the last video went up, we finished the hidden path and went and got ourselves a new hat here, the Fetton Mask on Elite. And now we are going to go and get started on Ashes of Malmo. Now, the reason we are doing Ashes of Malmo instead of going straight into Ultimate, which you can do if you want, is this here. Malmo Resistance and, even more important, Black Legion. So by the end of the Ashes of Malmo expansion on Elite, you should be about here. You should be very close to Revered, and then you should stay in Elite and do bounties until... sorry, this is on Malmo Resistance. On Elite, you should be pretty close to Revered, and you should stay in Elite until it is Revered, okay? This will get you access to the Malmo Resistance augments, and also to the XP potions. Now, if you don't want to use the XP potions, that's fine as well. Then you can skip on ahead to Ultimate, and you'll get access to them when you finish Ultimate Ashes of Malmo, by which time you won't need them. The other thing I like to do before I dip my toes into Ultimate, more than the beginning of Act 1 to get the Slith Ring, is I want Black Legion to be Revered. Getting that will make your Aether and Chaos resistances much easier to cap. Getting that will make your Poison and, I think it's Pierce, but it may be Bleed. But those will be much easier to cap as well. Vitality is usually relatively easy, and so is Elemental. The hard ones are usually Aether and Chaos. Then the kind of the mid-tier ones for me are going to be Poison, Pierce, and Bleeding. And then Vitality and Elemental ones are pretty easy. So that is why I do Elite Ashes of Malmo. And the reason why I don't really do Forgotten Gods is the only thing you really need from them is their augments, and you will need to do basically all three, or at least Elite and Ultimate, in order to get access to them. So you have to do an entire act, and you're still not going to have them until the end of Ultimate anyway. So to me it seems like it's not really much of a point unless I need an MI from somewhere in the expansion. So I usually skip it. If it is something you enjoy doing, by all means, go ahead, knock your socks off as it were. With that little rant out of the way, let's get started. Now, if we do manage to hit 74 today, I will swap in the chest and shoulders. If, and I haven't checked, but if it looks like I'm going to have resistance problems that will require a protracted stay in town to mess with components, I will just leave it for the start of the next episode, because I kind of want to get more content done today. By the end of this episode, I want to be at the Coven at least, but we will see how we go for time. I'm pretty sure I can do that. That doesn't seem too difficult. Right, below the barrier, there's going to be a boss right here. Hello, buddy. And we're going to keep him in that. And boom, he's dead. Okay, Empowered Essence of Baranath, very nice if you are playing a Nightblade dual-wield build that doesn't have a default attack replacer. You can use that. We are not playing that, so don't need it. I think the other thing I'm going to do when I get to maybe 74, I think is one of the levels for new gear, is I think I will head back to the Steps of Torment, find myself a new weapon, although now that I'm thinking of all that's going to entail, I may not actually do that. I might wait till 94 and do it in Ultimate, or even do it in Elite at level 94, because they should scale all the way to 100. Might even be able to do it in normal, actually, now that I think about it, because I'm pretty sure with patch 1.2, the skeleton key dungeons in normal should scale all the way to 100. Okay, my favorite farming area. How close are we to Nemesis with beasts? We're nowhere near it, I hope. Yeah, we're pretty far off. So I won't have to worry about Chupacabra until Elite. Let's go ahead and grab this bad boy here. Add up Spellblade. Treasure troves used to be, and there's a question mark hanging over this statement now. After I just ran Steps of Torment on my my Death Knight. This used to be the best farming area for a fresh level 100 in my mind, because you get 2 guaranteed treasure troves, you get at least 1 and sometimes 2 totems. It's a quick run. There's only 1 enemy that's really any kind of threat. This is my preferred place to farm. The other good place is the Blood Grove up to Darkvale Gate. But if you're going to do that, you run the risk of running into a Nemesis, although you get that here as well. But the totems are potentially you get 2, and potentially you either have to do a lot of running or you get none. This is Avarice Mariwill. She has a 50-50 chance of being here, and she potentially will wreck your day. So if you're going to play with her, make sure you stay at range, because she has this annoying habit of shotgunning you if you try to go into melee range. And she also stands in really annoying places. Okay, Ogden Blooms. One of those lovely crafting items that you think you have piles of until you have to make yourself a conduit, which at the moment I am planning on using the cold conversion conduit to turn devastation into cold damage. And you can, like I said, you think you have tons of them, you think you have piles of them, and then you need to craft a conduit, and it costs you 140 of them just to get one that does the conversion you want. So collect them as you go through so you don't have to farm them later. Okay, we don't need this, so I'm going to skip it for now. Well, not for now, but I'm going to probably never come back here. So I'm just going to skip it full stop. This little section here, if you haven't already found the treasure trove, it will be here. I have already found it. It was in the first spot, so I'm not too worried about that. This is the new symbol for Arcane. Now, I'm going to try and let this guy live so I can show the huge sound effect it plays and all the rest of it. There it is. I timed it perfectly so the sound of the flash freeze going off covered it up, so I'm going to shut up and let it do it again. I did it again. Okay, no noise, no noise. There we go. So it makes a very loud noise. He has a big glowy symbol above his head. He has a big blue glowy aura above his head. If you're getting hit by this, you're doing something incredibly wrong. However, if you do get hit by this, it will now strip all your buffs for 5 seconds, and then all of your permanent buffs, so things like Iskandras, the chilling weapons, all that will all come back on. Turtle Shell and Arcane Barrier will probably come back on as well, because they just seem like they're bugged at the moment and they activate if you breathe funny. But once that is fixed, and Xantai basically said that it will be fixed in the next patch update, so that'll probably be fixed before you get the next video after this one. But yeah, they will not come back. So if you had Turtle Shell up, just, if Turtle Shell procced because you were 40%, and then you get hit by an arcane, it's going to strip that shield off you and you don't get it back. But all your permanent buffs will come back after 5 seconds. Which seems like a decent middle ground, because I was saying when the patch notes were, or when Zantai was talking about it first, it was just going to be 2 seconds and then you get all your buffs back, and I kind of don't really think that's particularly dangerous. But apparently people really struggle with arcane monsters, so who knew? Anyway, now you get a big, massive glowing symbol above their head, and then they glow as well. And then the big orb is quite slow, and it makes a ton of a noise when he throws it out, so you get plenty of notice for that thing. Okay, unstoppable, but not unreflectable. So just made good use of the mirror of Erioctes there. Reflect all his damage back at him. And it's time to go fishing, or crabbing, as it were. So Caraxes here, his lair is basically a figure 8. The bottom part of the 8 is quite small. Here's the crossover point, and that's a loop, comes back down this way. Now I tend to go the top way, and then head down, kill him, and just come back in the way or come back out the way I went in. These guys must be immune to cold, because Flash Freeze is not doing any damage to them. And it's not chilling them either, so they must be immune to chill. Alright, enemy boss is dead. And let's go ahead and chuck that on. And you guys know my neuroticism when it comes to loot pages on the inventory. Okay, and as I said, I just come back out the way I came back in, and we go on our merry way, and we're going to be getting to the Coven significantly earlier than I had thought, so I guess we're going to have to do a little bit more than that today. I don't know if I've mentioned it like 3 times in the last 2 videos, but I am loving all these Winter Storm procs. Just keep dots ticking on things and spitting out ice spikes at them. It's great fun. It's not effective. I mean, it works, but it is not good. It's okay. It's not good, but it is fun. Trying to run through a solid wall there. So we continue down the right side of this, and we'll loop up and around and get to the Coven. I believe we have decent reputation with the Coven. Are we revered yet? Probably not. They're at the top, aren't they? C for Coven. So we've reached Honored, and I should have got the writ for them a long time ago, but we'll get it when we arrive in the Coven. The other thing I'm thinking of doing while we're here is the first level of the Ancient Grove to get access to the merchant there, and he has the prismatic diamond component blueprint, which is something that I want. Okay, let's feed her conversation pie. Agreed with that. 3 points still. We must have had we still had 1 point from the hidden path. That's right. What do we get out of 3 points in there? We get 1% for 2 points. We get 1% for 1 point. So I'm going to put 1 point in there, and then pretend I didn't, and put the rest in the bar here. Now at this point, you can look at getting 1 point in Ring of Steel, and then putting a few points in Circle of Slaughter for the fumble. This is another decent melee defense kind of thing. The only issue, of course, is it's another button on the hotbar that you would have to keep under control, remember to use. let's just get rid of all this. What are you? Death Chill Grasp. You are a melee gloves, and I'm not doing melee, so we will just go ahead and sell that. And we did not level up to 74 yet, so no gears to mess with, or no gear rather. Having said that though, this chest at 74 is a straight upgrade for resistances, so we don't need to worry about that. And this one, we will be losing some pierce resistance, 53%. We are 63 over cap. I think we're good. Yep. So we can just swap those straight in, take the components out, etc. With that in mind, let's head out into the swamp. Now, like I said, I'm going to talk to Mogdrogan. He is going to give me a skeleton key to get in. What he's also going to do is give me the quest to kill the boss in there, and this is a leveling hardcore character, and I am a sook, so I am not going to be fighting Gargabol on this character. I am there for the merchant, and that is it. So call me a coward in the comments if you want, but I see it as just not wanting to die, basically. We need to head down here. So yes, I'm just here for the prismatic diamond, that is all. Is this the friendly witch, or is this the kill the witch door? Genaxia, this is the kill the tree door. No, it is actually a witch. The tree is the random spawning door. Okay, since we're here, alright. And we got, looks like, no cold stuff except this glacial prefix. And we did get a Spellblade, which is not something I'm really interested in. Where is it? There. Necklace of the Winterstorm. And Gloves of the Winterstorm. Now these gloves are actually the same proc but more damage. And they give us a ton of elemental and bleeding res. Now the shoulders over here also, sorry, the chest gives us a ton of bleeding. These gloves give us a ton of bleeding. We can't use both, however, what is it we would lose? We would need piercing resist. So we could do it. 584 armor, 677. So the armor is much better on those gloves as well, so we may end up using those. I will have to play with the resists at the beginning of the next episode though. Alright, here we go. So Genaxia the Betrayer is dead. Okay, this is another thing. So, the Sapphire of Elemental Balance. This is one of the rings that I want to use. The other part of this set, the Ruby of Elemental Damage, I don't know if you can transmute between sets that only have two options. However, if I can craft two of these rings, I'm just looking at the ingredients, should be fairly doable. If I can craft two of these rings and then transmute one of them, I'm going to do that. That will definitely be a next episode kind of thing though. The proc on that puts like a spinny wavy thing that kind of orbits around you. Does a lot of damage, but if you run it into a wall, it will stop. So you kind of have to be a little bit careful with it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head into the Ancient Grove. I will get the quest and go in, and then I'm not going to make you watch me run back and forth between the door and the merchant. So I will probably See how we are for time. I might cut it out. And then maybe continue the episode after that. But we'll see how long it takes, because the first floor could be a little sketch. That should be fine. We'll see. We'll see. We're already up to 20 minutes. Remember when I used to make 20-minute episodes and call it done? Yeah, me too. I will deal with your problem, so thank you for the skeleton key. Now, if you are going to do this, and you could do this on normal if you wanted, and he will give you another key, but he will only give you one. Players are more resistant to Aether, that's fine. Player are more resistant to all damage. Okay, there should be an S in that, but that's fine. So we actually just got a ton of free resistances. So this treacherous domain has actually just given us a bunch of free resistances and no penalties. So that's going to be fun. Do check when you're coming through here that you pick up the Ugden Blooms. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. There is also a devotion shrine up there that you can see. It is a fight shrine. But I don't need it, and it's a little bit out of the way, so I'm going to skip it. There's usually a chest here. Or am I thinking of the wrong log? I'm thinking of the wrong log. Okay, everybody stop, except that guy who was apparently immune to being stopped. Alright, health bar is actually going down a decent amount. This, I think, would be fairly rippy if it wasn't for the always on, permanently procced tortoiseshell. These things, I think, are doing a lot of the damage. And I was definitely sundered by something. So I'm not exactly sure what. But something, put that, you see the red circle? That, okay, so it's the poison that comes down from above. If we look here, still tag not found. This is sundered, this means you take more damage from all sources. So those plants just got a whole lot more dangerous. I know the Manticore is also sunder, because I remember someone complaining about it on the forums, or in the PTR section of the Crate forums. Complaining, I mean, correctly, I guess, that there's a lot of new attacks that sunder, and it's very hard to sort of pick what they are. These, the Manticores, I think it's their tail attack is what does it. Spellmaker's Grip, Aether damage, yeah, no. And a summoning book. Okay, this is the skeleton key door. Let's go in. Now, again, there is a lot of stuff in the Ancient Grove, and I'm skipping all of it. I will be clearing my way to Vinelton, the merchant. Then I will be clearing the way from him to the door to the next level. And then I will be doing a little bit of shopping. And I will not be doing much else in terms of content in the area. I'm not shutting myself in the middle area with the snake dude. I'm not going to do the room with the chest in it that locks you in and throws waves of chaos monsters at you. I'm not doing any of that. I choose life. So, how is that a hit? Whatever. So yes, call me a coward if you will, but I will be the coward who lives. Now, from memory, the quickest way to the merchant is across this little bridge here. Also provides a nice little choke point here. Those manticores are a little bit scary with their tail attack sundering now. But I think we made it. I was just thinking as well, in my cowardice, I could simply run back down to this door instead of across the top to the other one. The top door would require me to clear more enemies, but the top door is also closer. Okay, these guys don't sunder, which is nice. Let's just see if he has the... Oh, it's glowing. Prismatic diamond. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to bother. Iskandra's hood. So this is level 75, I think, set. Yep, level 75. So I could make 5 pieces of this and then transmute them. I don't think I have the materials to do it. But we could have a full purple set at level 75 if we wanted to. Crown of the Winter King. Kind of a bait item, really. Cold Pets is not very well supported, so I'm not sure about that one. Dagger, don't care. Don't care about Rocket Jocks. Harbinger, don't care. Okay. We've got what we came for. I don't think any of these rings are particularly good. Rings or medals, I guess. I don't want the medals. Vine rings, no. Yeah, I think we're done here. This is what I came for. I will, however, clear to the next door and just show what I was going to do anyway. So, I tend to clear up the left side here into this top area. And then I run back and forth between the merchant and the door. Now, I am absolutely getting wrecked by those plants. They are not messing around. Okay, are we done? Right. You can sometimes get a shrine right here. It does look like I've lucked out today, and I don't get my shrine. But that is fine. So, clear across the top here. And then we move into the next area. I'd love to know what percentage this is, because I'm absolutely getting destroyed by this, whatever it is. Whatever the percentage is, it's way more than it should be, in my opinion. Alright. So you get the crabs here, you sometimes get bees. Oh no, here's the bees. Bees here, and there's another boss before the door. Well, another super unique, I guess you'd call him. We're just going to run away from the plant that's destroying my ability to get hit. Where is he? There he is. That's crazy. Like, even while moving at normal speed, I'm still getting hit by it. Can you not? Thank you. Alright, let's go whack those plants. I am surprised that there wasn't another boss here. Did I just kill him by accident, or not notice him? Not sure. I was expecting another boss here. But whether I killed him by accident or not, he's not there now. So the way you reset the shop is you come here and you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then you realize that you're counting out loud and no one can hear you, and you go back in. Now, how long it's going to be for it to reset does vary a little bit. Generally speaking, 5 to 10 seconds, something like that. There's also a little hidden chest in here. Empowered conduit, nice. Is that the lightning dagger again? I think so. There's my prismatic diamond. And I'm going to be leaving at this point. But when you run back to Vinylton here, he will have an entire new set of blueprints. So No, he won't. He's got the same ones. I didn't wait long enough. Okay, you're just going to have to believe me that this works, and I've done it many, many times. So, there's no point in me being here, and I'm not going to bother running out, so we're just going to exit to the main menu and start again. Now starting again put me back in town, so it saves me from having to do a whole bunch of running. Don't need to put the buffs up anymore. And I'm being yelled at by the wife. So, right, we have got the prismatic diamond now. Now the question is, do we have the materials available to craft it? And the answer to that question may surprise you. The answer is probably no. And I'm not going to stop the episode here, so we will do it in between episodes, and I will tell you all about it when we come back. So with that said, let's go back out into the swamp and back to heading sort of northeast-ish. Now if we could get the basilisk venom, I would be very happy. Don't think we have it yet, nope. So I do want to kill basilisks. I do want to kill these trees as well, like extreme prejudice. The trees became like damage, or target number 1. If I see a tree, it dies first now. I think this was, giving them that sunder was probably in response to the usual tactic for fighting the trees, which was just ignore them and keep running. You definitely can't do that now. Whoops, shouldn't have woke him up. Okay, we've got a leaf main alpha. I'm going to get away from all the trees. Or at least I thought I was. And I'm going to use the mirror just to keep myself alive. Pick all this up and keep going on my way. I'm checking the larger tree stumps because they have, I think I need to go back as well, because they almost always have Ugden blooms in them. Just look at this. Look at this. That's nuts. Okay, who are you? Okay, Trozan's mantle. May have just found a new pair of shoulders. What does that actually do? +2 to Shattered Star and not much else, so I'm not going to use that on its own, but if we can find another piece, perhaps. Now, I could have been completely wrong when I said I needed to come back down here. I think I was. Let's just... I mean, I came back down here to do the totem. Yeah, that's it. You can see that circle there, that was an arcane monster, and he didn't live long enough to actually fire his projectile off. Which is what you should be doing with them. Now, Dirge of Arcovia this early? Really? Okay. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I didn't even see him until he was dead. But you just blow them up so fast that they still shouldn't be able to actually use the ability. I think outside of... I mean, maybe... Whoop, I think we may have just crashed. Did we crash? Okay, let me sort this out. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back in town, and the character did probably get rolled back a few seconds. However, I do still have the Trozan's mantle, so it wasn't that far, and I don't have to go and do the run through the Ancient Grove all over again. However, this does seem like a good time to end the episode and start again fresh, and I will have some gear upgrades ready to go at that point as well. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one, and goodbye for now.